Hello everybody, welcome back to the Lion's Eye and my safari adventure. I have done a little bit of work on the roof, but in the previous video I said to you we've got the big fireplace. I've started putting a roof on this part of the building. It still needs a bit of tweaking, but we're getting somewhere there. And then on this side, as you can see, I've also put a lot of lights in here because we will be doing a night walk because we can't drive. But this is, I don't know if you remember me mentioning we're going to have like wood and branches and stuff on this side. And I have rearranged this doorway here. As you can see, I've copied the window and just copied it across into the next part of the building. And you can see we still have a lot of roof to go. But I think the reception desk is looking quite interesting. We've got the name in here as well. We've got the check-in computer, a couple of lights there, and of course our carpet. I have put the mask really badly, not in the middle. There we go. There we go. It's not quite what I was looking for, but I'm going to use it. And then in here, as you can see, I still have a lot of work to do with the roof. This is what it ultimately will look like. At the moment, it's just like steps going upwards. But this is the start of our sort of sitting area here. We've got some silhouettes, so, well, a silhouette that's just reversed of a buck, a couple of chairs, and then if we go out here, don't look at the tables. I've been playing just with setting stuff out. This is the bar area that we did last time. I have changed the color on the doors. I'm in two minds as to which color I prefer. And I tried the wooden, please excuse this, this is just the center of that roof. I'm in two minds what color I want to use in the bar area and the dining room. But that's for another day. Today I thought we will start by furnishing one of our guest suites. Again, the roof is going to be thatch, similar to that, but obviously a much simpler version. And this will be the living area. We'll have, as you can see, we have windows throughout. We have a bed floating in mid-air. And I just played in the bathroom simply because I wanted to, I've been enjoying these slightly strangely shaped showers, and I think that looks pretty good. We do have to do the floor in here still, but as you can see, we have a fancy little bathtub in front of the window, and you can look out onto the, I put in inverted commas, the river. I will probably put some more shrubs and stuff behind there, so while you're sitting in the tub, you can maybe see some wildlife walking past. And yes, that is a thing. So I've put the smoked glass on the door so you can sort of see through it, but you can't see anybody sitting on the toilet. And let me know what you think so far. I'm wondering, this one or this one? I'm thinking I'm going to go with this one. And yes, we're going to be basic again. We are going black and white with the toilet, and hopefully when we are sitting on the toilet, Yeah, you'll be fine. What can I say to that other than, you know, it is a thing. And again, we've got the diagonal, you can see here, we have the diagonal door. That just needs a little bit of love. We have a cold front moving in, and the light just went away because the clouds came in, which was quite interesting. There we go. So the door does work on the diagonal. You just have to build around it. So I'm quite chuffed with that. And I really like my shower. I also like the sandstone on the walls, but we are going to have to find a tile that we like for the floor. So I'm thinking maybe granite. I don't know if this is the right color for here, so let's go for a size and see what it looks like. Yes, because we're on the diagonal, we've got to be careful. That's not too bad in here actually. It definitely has the slight roughness that we are looking for. And we are going to have to, yeah, I'll come back and pop in a couple of, that one will be fine, triangles with the granite finish on them. For there, and here we're on the diagonal, as you can see, and I have put little triangles in here, so we're good for that. It actually doesn't look too bad. I quite like that. And then we'll have the thatched roof in here as well, so it's pretty good. Okay, and then I'm thinking of putting 2 basins, one on each side of the door instead of the traditional 2 basins together. I don't know. Basically there and there, but not those. Maybe those. Those aren't too bad actually. I was going to use the floating one. Maybe we should. Let's see. If we go for a white, no. Let's go for maybe the walnut, the white basin, and then the copper. What have we got for faucets here? I like that one, but I actually like that one. So maybe let's pop those in. Those are the same height. No, they're not. But these can go lower because if you see the height of the actual basin, that should be fine. Take these out and then just slide these across. Let's see if it impedes the door. If I open you, you're fine. I think that's quite an interesting idea for in here. Let's just take it to the end of the diagonal, right to there. And you're a little bit over, aren't you? There we go. Just for something different. And we can probably put a bit of diagonal in there. Where's my bricks? Let's see if I pop you in there. And yes, I know I've got it the wrong way around. Okay, that's unfortunate. Okay, that might not then work. We might just have to use the triangle. What is that? Shelf. That one. Did we use walnut? Wow, it's like I did that like an hour ago. Why are you not? Fine, do that. Which way do I want you to sit? Now this doesn't enlarge, so it is what it is with what we have here. Yeah, we're gonna have to like do 5 of them for it to actually work in any way, shape or form. So I don't know. I'll figure that one out at a later stage. But the one thing we do need is a tile of some description on the wall. So do we carry this across? Do we take this but in a different... maybe we go with that. How did I... oh, dang it. Try that again. There. Thank you very much. The only reason I don't like that much is because you can't change the color of the grouting. It's not too bad. Actually prefer that. Yeah, that is better. Okay, where did I... how many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That much. Yes, we are going to have to do a thing with the... should we... actually, let's put it to there. And then we can just... oh, we have run it up the walls on the inside. What did I... did I do anything there? Yeah, I prefer it on there. Then maybe what we should do is just run one more up there just to finish it. And then we can always put an edging on that. Not too bad. In fact, if we went for the walnut, we go with something very simple. But effective. That construct there actually doesn't look too quite like that. There's only one problem. Come on. Don't get stuck. Games are very laggy. I don't know if I've just killed it now or what. But my game is not happy with me. Playing with settings, so maybe that's a bad thing. The only thing we're going to have a problem with is that, but what's our shortest? Let's see. Perfect. Haha. I quite like that. That just sort of makes it look good. How's that for very descriptive? Okay, and it's just a matter of putting it over the wall here. And the wall there. So, has anybody been to Africa? Has anybody been on safari in Africa? I live about 4 or 5 hours away from the Kruger National Park, and it's actually pretty cool. It's a beautiful place, but you're not going to actually sit with me fine. I have been there a couple of times, and it's amazing. The animals are mind-boggling there. Obviously, it also depends what time of the year you go, because the grasses in the park die down in winter. Do I want that there? And then are very tall in summer. So if you go in summer, you don't see as much as if you went in winter. And there are a lot of private game lodges within and around the park. So it's actually very cool. It's quite pretty. I don't know about these. I do want 2 basins though. We'll play with that. Let's just look at it in the distance there and then see what we're going to do. Now, for the bedroom, I'm thinking, I'm just opening a thing here. I was looking at sort of various bedrooms, what I want to play with, and I think I want to put this bed on a solid base, which means my trusty little block is coming in. This one, my little block is coming to party again. So let's do that, and then we can play with the actual how big we want it. Yeah, don't look at it poking through the mattress. I'm not worried about that right now. I'm more interested in where it's hitting at the bottom. Okay, so about there. I think that will work. Let's just bring that. Ooh, don't move. Resize. That'll work. So why am I there? Let's get the roller out. And if you look at what's on the mattress, actually would like to put it, there we go, at the bottom of the bed as well. But now looking at it, I think we need to pull it out. What color is that? That is cream. I don't want cream, I want white. Much better. Yeah, much better. I think when you're at a fancy resort, it's always nice to have a white linen on the bed. I don't know what you think. And then with the sort of pattern on the bottom, it's quite cool. I like it. All right, now the next question is going to be what we are going to do with the headboard. Now, I have been playing with fences lately, but I was looking and there's nothing that sort of jumps out and shouts, ooh, I'm a good headboard. So, you know, something like that would not be a bad idea. But I've got an image and I'm thinking maybe I can use that. Okay, call me crazy. I've done this twice now and I've gone past it twice. Alright, I've got a picture here. Where is my picture? It's this. Is that too much of a clash of styles, do you think? Would you like that? I mean, no, it's the only colour this came in. This is actually a stained glass window. But I think that's quite cool. We might have to do something with the wall behind it. I think it's a palette. This is a really fancy resort. I don't think they would use pallets as headboards. Then again, it doesn't look bad. I'm going to sneak it down there. See if I can get two. Not bad. Right, let's just paint a wall behind it. Did you see that leg? It's not bad. Okay, now these lights are appealing to me. I like them. Now we just have to figure out, I think, let's go with the copper. They are very small though. I think they'd work in here. Let's find a bedside table. Do we want a table or do we want a cupboard? I mean, these are people who are coming for a couple of days. They're not going to really want a huge amount of space. Look like in black. Of course I didn't select it in black. But think that might be too tall. Yeah. You know, I'm tempted to take these things and run at least another one on each side here. Let's move this whole thing out the way for now. That's fun. I like that. Okay. Leave this as plan B. Maybe. Do we have a left and a right? Yes, we do. It's quite fun. No, not you. You. But then that light needs to do something. That's not black. Let's go with white shade there. Oh, dear heaven, help me. Don't mess with the bed after you've put it there. Yeah. Maybe. I mean, I can imagine waking up in the morning and just lying in bed and watching the animals coming to the watering hole. I mean, that is amazing, but don't know if I like that lamp. We go with copper. I don't know how that. Or do we just go for a wall lamp? You know, my enthusiasm for the lights in this game holds up for a couple of times and then it just sort of like disappears again. And then I want more. I can't put a ceiling light in this place until such time as the ceiling is in place. So let's do options. Let's go with option. We have something like that. So what do you think? That one, or that one? I'm actually leaning towards that one. If you don't let me know, I'm going to choose it. Okay. So you climb into bed, have a nap, have a sleep, wake up at dawn with the sun rising, and the watering hole is going to be right there, and you can watch the animals coming for water at the watering hole, which is awesome. Okay, now the question is, what do I want to use in the bedroom as a wall? See, that appeals to me. I across the back of the bed here, perhaps. Let's see what we have. We can go for the black wood and the copper. Now we can flip. Oh, this light is in the way. We can flip this. And then we can bring it down. Let's see, which way are we starting? That. It's almost. Is quite fun. Okay, if I move you over slightly, doesn't matter if there's a slight gap there. And when the light shines on it, you will see the copper coming through. At the moment it's just dark, but with light I think it will look quite good. What do you think of it? I'm going to say yes. Okay, now let's close these doors. Oh my goodness gracious me. Sorry, the wind blew and something went thunk. This moved. I saw. Where this was perfect. And then it's not anymore. There we go. Are you good? And we paint the inside of you. Will that help? Hopefully. Alright, I don't know if that's too busy. I quite like it. But you know, let me know. Is that crazy? Alright, I'm going to put probably a chest or some storage of some description. I suppose we should start with a wardrobe on the wall there. And it's going to be something very simple. No. Something very simple. No. You know, this is... Let's look at it in black and see what happens. We take the handles off. That looks not bad. Actually. Just don't like the gap in the middle, but that's because of the top of the wood. But then you just move them together and it works. I quite like that. And then look, this light is going to become an issue if I keep it. Let me know. And then I think I'm going to put a dressing table of some description here. If it's not a dressing table, it will be at least a chest or a shelf Suppose for game drives you don't really need to put your makeup on, but to go, no. If you want to go for dinner in at the resort, I suppose you do need somewhere. Hello, that's a shoe bench. That's not going to work. Really go for the very boring stuff. And you know, now and then, it's always a good thing. Sticks out just a smidgen. It's not bad. Because then we can put a nice big mirror above it. Dang it! Doesn't fit! Dang it! It's fine. We have a long mirror there. That wasn't a deep sigh, I promise. That was just me breathing out. We could do double. Sorry, I have my flashlight on. Maybe not. We'll put one in the middle, and then we can put a nice big vase of flowers. Well, when I say a vase, I'm thinking a pot. Let's go with a copper pot. Now, plants are not normally this green. But the snake plant is very common here. That'll work. We are going to need to put a light. Here we go again. Lights. But I've been exploring this little one, which actually is quite cool. Then we have this one. Let's see. I was playing with it the other day, where you literally make it out of metal. It could work. You can move the plant, it's fine. That could work. We still have this on the wall. Now, this attracted me because it's the copper that I've been using in various of the things. So, but it's not going to work there for sure. Might work on that wall just as a decoration. Sort of more rose window than African bush felt. No, it is what it is. Alright, I'm yes, we will put a TV here because, you know, sometimes the animals are sleeping. Okay, what can I say? It's been a week. Alright, what are we going to use? Can we do something with that? We've got a lot of texture in this place. If we go with black, how about copper? Could be fun. Look at that, how it catches the light. Oh yeah. I think we can do that. Okay, now we've got doors here. Those are the only doors to the place. All the rest are windows. So it's not a train smash where we put the sofa. Now, question is, luxury or fancy? Let's go copper, as usual. Let's see, it's not bad, and it's got the hints of copper on it. Am I flying again? Let's not. I quite like that. And then maybe a couple of comfy chairs. I suppose we're going to have to do something like that. Maybe we do it in white to work with the yes, we can walk around it. The other alternative is we do our zebra stripes. Actually not zebra. This is I presume it's zebra. Alright, that is in the middle. Awesome. I would like maybe 2 of these because this place is so long. That works. I get irritated and then I just move it like that instead. Okay. We are getting somewhere. Now, do we want, I think a table? We are going to have the table outside. There will be an area here with a table, but I think a little 2-seater here by this window would look pretty good. Just a small table. Seeing as we're going for the very angular, maybe we should do this one. Did I choose black? Yes, I did. That'll work. Eeny, meeny, should I just bite the bullet and go with the same? The base is black. Seed can be white. We can stay with plain white instead of button. That works. We have got quite a bit of space to play with, so we don't have to shove it in the corner here. And I'm thinking against this wall. Now, where is... That's what I'm thinking. It's not very modern, but it is pretty warm. Makes sense. I'm wondering, yeah, let's just stick it into the wall there. I'm not going to try and pipe it in, but that will keep the place warm when it gets chilly, because the temperatures do get chilly. Okay, so our bathroom, we've got a bit to do in here. I need to do this in the floor, and I need to now then start the roof. But for now we can choose some mirrors for in here as well. I think I'm going to go with exactly what we've got. Dang it. When it jumps like that. Now for me, who's a short person, that feels too high for me. But is it just me? Okay, and then we can do all the fancy stuff, the towels and the bits and the bobs. And I think we're going to stay fairly basic. Let's literally go with the black to work with, the black frames and all the rest of the fun stuff. So let's put a towel there and a towel there. I think that'll work. We're gonna need one of these. Can I? Just in case you drink the water. Actually, our water's pretty clean here. Alright, and then again, very basic stuff. Going to go plain white. Plain white, and then of course the white towels. That is the big one, and I'm going to put a big one in both places. Come on, there you go. Might be a little bit. We put it on there. It will never sit there by itself. Let's put it on there because we can. There we go. We have the window. We have towels. Now we just need a fuzzy rug. We don't actually need a fuzzy rug. We just need a rug. can never remember which one of these is the little one. How big are you? That works for me. They're too small now. With the peanut. Wait when it doesn't want to sit. That's way. Alright. I'm sorry. I'll stop. There we go. After playing for how long, I have finally figured out the reason is because the fuzzy texture makes it grey. If you change the texture of your carpet, it goes grey. But if you go back to your suede, it goes back. But now I'm actually going to change it. I'm a penny. There we go. Okay. Now, what can we do in here in the way of some plant life of some description? I suppose I should be patient. We can put some hanging plants maybe. Let me do that. Alright, close the door for now. Now that I've done that, it's not lining up anymore, so that's fine. Can I still get around here? Yes, I can. Awesome. And I think some side tables. Why did I go to and once again, no, I'm not going to use the chunk of wood. I'm actually loving these, but I've got those in the, you know, we've got them in the main, let's see, black and white. We go white and black. Can we? No. Yes, we can. Copper tops. Okay. That's crazy. I'll take it. Then should we put a table behind here? I know we've got console tables, but the ones that I like you can't put behind. With either that one or this one, we got to make our own. That's too tall. It's not long enough. Dang it. You see, that's perfect. Well, not perfect, but it's better. But it wants a wall. We have no wall. Oh, hold on. Hello? Come along. You can do it. There you go. Thank you. Let's just let's do the copper and maybe the wood on the top. Their own fault for not allowing me to stand this or giving us the option of 4 legs if we wanted to just be freestanding. It is what it is. Sorry guys. I'm going to leave that on the wall. Let me know what you think of that and that. I'm in 2 minds right now. But things are looking up. We've got some fun stuff happening. The only thing I do want to put here is our little friendly, let's put a vase here. And I think I would like a plain, nice big plain white vase. They're too big. It'll probably look better over here, won't it? I'll attend to dressing at a later stage. I'm looking for our little friend, the container that we can turn into a wicker basket. Hey. Let's go with the walnut. And now we have rattan or wicker. Now rattan is more common here. So maybe a dark color. We can pop it under here. I'm almost tempted to put it at the door, but there isn't really space there. I'm going to put a plant so it sort of that little, you know what, let's just move this, take there. Okay, it's still sticking, dang it. Okay, a pot it is. I think this one will be fun. Could we go with one thing that is very common here is ferns and a lot of grasses. We don't really have much to play with, so I'm leaning towards these grasses. Come on. It just looks so fragile on their little stalk. And so I am just going to go sweep. And then it just looks a bit more secure. Okay, I have been waffling for long enough. Let me know what you think. I do still have to put carpets and all kinds of stuff, and I need to start the roof and finish the roof over there. It's a lot more work than I thought it was going to be, so you're going to have to bear with the roofing situation. But it's getting to a point, as you can see. We have some form of roof on the house, even if it's just like only a bit. And there's a couple of gaps that have to be patched. And there's a couple of things that need to be done. But I have darkened, and I have actually rounded this off because the top of the thatch actually is rounded like that. So, yeah. Let me know what you think. Any suggestions? Any ideas? And we'll be back at Lion's Eye next week. Think of us. We're going to freeze this weekend here in South Africa. Well, in Johannesburg. I know that for sure. Thanks so much for watching. Have a lovely day. And I'll see you all soon. Bye for now.